Hi everyone, this is Lozza from the Baking Mad Gym Addict. My newest obsession at the moment is making delicious creamy almond milk at home. It's my favourite thing to drink at the moment and it tastes a million times better than the almond milk that you can buy from the supermarket. If you're looking for a heart-healthy, dairy-free milk substitute, then keep watching. So in terms of equipment, you will need a mason jar, a nut bag, and a blender. I have a Vitamix blender which I purchased when I was on holiday in America last year, but the recipe will still work with a regular blender, although it might take a bit longer to blend your nuts. I purchased my nut bag from an Australian website called healthproductsonline.com.au for $10. My nut bag is made from nylon rather than cotton because a nylon nut bag is easier to clean. To clean the nut bag, I usually just turn it inside out and rinse it under tap water before air drying it. The nut bag that I'm using here is 2.5 litres in size, which is the equivalent of 10 cups of liquid. You can also buy nut bags from Amazon.com. The recipe for this almond milk is typed out in the description box for you below. You will need the following ingredients: 2 cups of almonds, enough filtered or bottled water to soak your nuts, some salt, 4 medjool dates, half a teaspoon of vanilla bean extract. You'll also need 4 cups of filtered or bottled water to make the almond milk. In this video, instead of using water, I actually used 4 cups of coconut water for an added twist to the recipe. Adding coconut water to this recipe helps to add an extra kick of electrolytes such as potassium and calcium. To prep the almonds, I usually soak them at room temperature overnight in filtered or bottled water. Soaking the nuts in water helps to take away any enzyme inhibitors and toxins which are contained in the skin of the nuts. The soaking process helps to reduce phytic acid and tannins from the almonds and will also help give you a wee bit more almond milk at the end of the process. I also find that the longer you soak your almonds, the creamier the milk will be. I put 2 cups of almonds in the jar and add enough water to cover the nuts. I add a big pinch of pink Himalayan salt, but you can use any salt you like, and then I screw the lid on the jar and set it aside. After around 8 to 12 hours, you can see that the water in the jar looks really murky and discoloured. I discard the water and give the almonds a really good rinse before putting them into the blender. Next, I remove the stone from 4 medjool dates and add them to the nuts. I then poured in 4 cups of coconut water. Remember that instead of coconut water, you can choose to use filtered water or bottled water if you like, and it will still taste delicious, I promise. I then added half a teaspoon of vanilla bean extract and a pinch of salt. At this point, I also added some ice cubes. However, I do not recommend adding ice cubes because it's such a pain in the neck to squeeze chilled liquid out of the nut bag with your bare hands. If you want to avoid numb fingers, then skip the ice cubes and use liquids which are room temperature rather than chilled. Once the ingredients are in the blender, turn your blender on and blend until the mixture transforms into a yummy, smooth, creamy consistency. Next, you want to tip your almond milk mixture into your nut bag. Then it's just a matter of draining the liquid and squeezing out the pulp thoroughly to extract all the yummy goodness. And there you have it. You have some delicious homemade creamy almond milk. This recipe makes around 1,200 millilitres, which is about 5 cups of milk. If you made the almond milk with water, each cup of milk, which is roughly around 250 millilitres, will contain around 50 calories. The milk can be stored in the fridge for up to 4 days. Feel free to pour it over your homemade granola or use it in your smoothies, or simply drink it straight out the glass. You can also try to experiment with other different types of homemade milks. Why not try cashew milk, macadamia milk, or pistachio milk? If you have a nut allergy, you could experiment with sunflower seed milk, hemp seed milk, or even brown rice milk. There are heaps of recipes online to try, so have fun experimenting. Today I'm going to make some Quest bar cookies to enjoy with my almond milk. I simply took a strawberry cheesecake Quest bar and microwaved it for 10 seconds before shaping them into my desired cookie shape. I then placed the cookie dough in the oven on a non-stick baking sheet for around 7 minutes to bake at 175 degrees Celsius. This is around 345 degrees Fahrenheit. Ta-da! Cookies and milk. It would be such a shame to waste the leftover almond pulp in your nut bag. So here are some suggestions of what you can do with your almond pulp. You could use it to add extra fibre to your smoothies. You can mix up some of the almond pulp with coconut oil and use it as a natural exfoliator. You can even make almond meal from the pulp by drying it out and blending it. Today I will be using the almond pulp to make a raw chocolate fudge brownie. This recipe is inspired by the Rotarian website, which can be found on www.therotarian.com. You can see the full recipe in the description box below. You will need cacao powder, medjool dates, almond pulp left over from your almond milk, cashews, vanilla bean extract, some shredded coconut, some honey and some salt. Simply pulse the ingredients in a food processor until they are well combined. Be careful not to over-process them. The mixture should look like this once it's ready. All you have to do then is press the mixture down onto the tray. At this point, I decided to make the brownies prettier by adding some coconut shreds and some chocolate sauce. You can make chocolate sauce by mixing together cacao powder, honey and some melted coconut oil and drizzling it over the top. Put the tray in the freezer for at least an hour. The raw fudge brownie should always be stored in the freezer. When you have an emergency sweet tooth craving, simply slice off a piece and eat it straight out of the freezer. As if by magic, the raw fudge brownies will stay nice and chewy even at sub-zero temperatures. These wee beauties will last around 2 weeks in the freezer. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video on how to make milk, cookies and raw fudge brownies. If you'd like to see more of my videos in the future, please make sure you're subscribed. Please also feel free to like, comment and share any of the other videos on my channel. If you'd like to connect with me, feel free to check out my Facebook page and my Instagram account. Have a fantastic day and I will see you in my next video. Bye!